Hello, welcome to Player Ratings. Everyone gets a 10. Thanks very much to that. How many kids? I'm going to start with Alisson in goal, because I always start with Alisson in goal. He was absolutely superb. I've no idea how he saves that. I don't know who it is from. First half, the header from close range, it looked like a foot, 2 foot out, and he saves that ball. And then I think it was, I don't know whether it was Joe Gomez, Trent Alexander-Arnold, who cleared it from the line. I thought that was looking like a certain goal. It looked to me like we were going to go one behind, and we didn't. And Alisson makes another save low down at his right-hand side, somehow wins a goal kick. He is absolutely superb, and he's key when we're level. And that's the thing with Alisson, isn't it? He makes good saves, but he makes the big saves when we're drawing games or when we're just one goal ahead. And he makes the saves when it matters. And Alisson gives us so much confidence, because you can commit an extra body forward because you know you've got him there to save you if you need to. The lad is an absolute legend, and I'm giving him a 10 out of 10 for that performance, no word of a lie, because those two saves, I mean, absolutely magnificent. Trent Alexander-Arnold, some of the last-ditch defending from Trent today was absolutely wicked. Everyone's been saying, me included, that he's not been in the best form. That is the type of game that we needed to see from Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's coming up against Bernard. Bernard's a good player. They've been committing bodies forward and stuff. But Trent is there, and it's the times when he leaves his position to come and help his centre-backs out. And they're the things that young players don't normally do. Don't normally make the right decisions at those vital times, and Trent Alexander-Arnold was able to do that. He whips a good ball in finally in the 94th minute as well. Few suspect corners, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Onto the centre-backs, Joe Gomez, faster than Richarlison, stronger than Richarlison. Richarlison basically looked like he was made of piss tonight. Every time Joe Gomez leaned into him, he just flopped to the side. Absolutely. Just Joe Gomez, man, he's just brilliant, isn't he? I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. Virgil van Dijk, 9 out of 10. He's just imperious. He always is. He gets us playing football, and he can see a long pass. Left back, Andy Robertson, probably didn't commit forwards as often as he normally does, Andy Robertson, today. And I think that was because of Walcott's pace and Seamus Coleman looking to join the attack when they did attack down that right-hand side. But second half, he came out of his skin a little bit, started bombing down that wing, started looking for 1-2s, defensively, stout, resolute again. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. In the centre of the park, Fabinho, I loved his effort. It looked like he understood what a derby is like to me. He got in there, he was throwing tackles in there, he picks up a yellow card, yes he does, and it always looked like he was going to. That one tackle, I forget who it was from on that middle, who was it from? Richarlison. That is brilliant. Tom was nearly as excited watching Fabinho go through Richarlison as scoring the goal. He was absolutely made, weren't you? You were absolutely made up with that one, mate. Tom, what would you give Fabinho for that one? Come here, you look at this.
No, I'm sweaty from the game. Fabinho gets a 9 for the tackle. And then for all the other tackle, look, sometimes you got to put a cruncher in. He's their best player, apparently. They're singing him the one song that they got apart from This Is a Library or whatever it is. Just crunch the fella.
Some proper wall chants from the Everton fans tonight, and some dodgy ones as well. I've been told I didn't hear any of it, to be honest with you. Wijnaldum, I thought he was brilliant again. You know, not in an offensive point of view, but in the defensive side of things. You know, winning the ball back and covering for his fellow players and stuff. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Then who have we got in the centre of the park? Bobby Firmino in that 10 position. Probably an 8 out of 10 for Bobby. I think he was always looking for the ball, and you know he got into the box a couple of times late on in the game when other players were tired him. He had that one opportunity where he probably should have taken it a little bit early on his left foot, and then they end up. Everton. It's right, lads. He had that one opportunity, didn't he, where he flashed the ball wide, and he probably should have taken it a bit earlier, but then he'd have been outside the area, so it is what it is. Sadio Mane, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 again. I spoke about him in my match reaction and stuff. Sometimes he just looks unplayable, but he worked hard for the team, didn't he? He was always tracking back. He was always tracking Seamus Coleman, so never left him alone. And interestingly, I saw him and Shaqiri swap first half for about 5 minutes. I think it was around the 37th minute. And that's the first time that I can remember seeing them in this 4-2-3-1 actually swap positions for a period of time, and I just wonder whether this is sort of the evolution of that 4-2-3-1 where the Klopp just said to him, listen, get into the rhythm of it, let's just go in there, let's get used to it, and then we'll start adding the bells and whistles. This looked like a sign that we're getting those bells and whistles. This is a performance from Liverpool actually first half that it's probably been lacking over the last few weeks. We've won games and stuff, but I actually thought we were a little bit better than we've been in the last few weeks, passing a little bit crisper and stuff. That was down to the likes of Sadio Mane. Mo Salah, probably an 8 out of 10 for Mo. You know, he was always looking for that ball in behind. Trent was always looking to get him in behind. Robertson was looking for those balls again. But you know what, Mina, I thought he had a brilliant game. Big, strong fella, sort of won everything in the air. And when they were pushing the ball to our fullbacks and stuff and our wingers, who at times had chalk on the boots, they were just eating that up. And I remember thinking to myself, we've got to do something a little bit more than this. We've got to start looking for those 1-2s and try and get in behind. But it turns out that the cross late on in the game is actually the difference maker, isn't it? So, yeah, Mo Salah, I think I give him an 8 out of 10. Naby Keita, bright, but not too involved in the game, considering how many minutes he got. I'll probably give him a 7 out of 10. Divock Origi. You know what I'm giving him? I'm giving him a 10 out of 10. Give him a 10 out of 10. Redemption, that's what that is all about. And I can't remember hearing a chant sung with such passion and raw emotion as that Divock Origi chance at the end. And do watch the story of the match. I've got 5 minutes near enough of the scenes at the end of the game, and it really was absolutely incredible. Have I missed anyone, mate? I've given 2 subs. Anybody else? Doesn't matter. What? Sturridge. Diving little twat. That was a bad dive, but he was looking for that half a yard of space, wasn't he? And I must admit, I was starting to think a bit like the Europa League final when he sort of teed that up and he was trying to get that ball onto the outside of his foot. But he was a little bit of a difference maker towards the end. He took up a few different positions to Mo Salah, did get his foot on the ball, and he started to bring Andy Robertson in to play a little bit at the end as well. So I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. We scored so late, I'm not sure that Mr. Sefton managed to get the score on the scoreboard before it went off. That's brilliant. Like the video, subscribe to the Red Men TV, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.